That's the click I need to hear. Friday, September 28th, and it is a sad day because we are bringing you the final MLB DFS strategy show for myself and Jake in the 2018 season. Feels like just yesterday we started this little journey, and now the regular season is over for us. Jake, are you excited to see baseball go? Hockey right around the corner.
I don't know. I mean, it'll be fun. It's always fun to switch seasons, but I'll probably be wanting baseball once I go through a bad stretch, like mid-October. So it's fine for now. But yeah, too bad we don't get to do this show. So
I was gonna say, are you excited to stop talking to me every morning?
no, never.
Oh, you should be. We got a 13 gamer here to close out Friday. And let me tell you what, it could be better. It could be better. Only 3 teams on a 13 game slate with a projected total above 5. That means there's a lot of slop in the center. We're going to try to walk through it now, though. So sit back, relax, get ready for your baseball hot takes. This is the final show. Ooh, Travis Wade. New show should be called Wake and Bake with Josh and Jake.
Wake and bake.
I like
That
it.
kind of means something else.
Yeah, we can. We could have you drinking a coffee, me with like bloodshot red eyes.
Oh my god.
We have a place called Wake and Bake Donuts here. They do like, really ridiculous fancy donuts with cinnamon toast crunch and weird shit on it. But they have a creme brulee donut that's phenomenal. I just realized that I'm going to go downtown today and I'm going to get myself a creme brulee donut. Wake and Bake with Josh.
Wake and bake. Hey, did anybody hit a dong last night?
I thought you did.
No, Tyler Austin had two doubles.
Yeah, and 3 RBI or something. I opened it up and I was like, Tyler Austin, 26 fantasy points or whatever. I was like, oh shit, Jake got a dong.
Nah, you didn't.
I clicked on it and I was just like, no, he didn't. And then I'm assuming that Kyle Seager didn't go yard. I haven't been getting my DK Live alerts since I redid my phone, so I just actually uninstalled it and reinstalled it once we started here. But so I didn't see anything coming through. Kyle Seager 0 for 3, outstanding. Who did Chris have? Somebody bad, I'm sure.
O'Hearn, and I didn't hear from Chris, so there's no way he donged.
Yeah, he didn't dong. Alrighty, 13 games. By the way, Travis, I'm sorry that my Taco Bell story from yesterday is haunting you. I would assume this woman didn't wipe, but I didn't stick around for additional details from the Taco Bell lady.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got 13 games to go through. Let's do this for the final time. Until next year. Yes. Astros and Orioles makeup game from yesterday. Astros 5.1 run implied total. Orioles 3.4. It is a 68% chance to win for the Stros. Garrett Cole on the hill for Houston. David Hess on the hill for Baltimore. We going back to Garrett Cole?
I mean, it makes more sense on this slate than yesterday's if he was going to play, but he's still way too expensive for me. So I'm going to be under the field. I'm assuming he's going to have a bunch of ownership here because it's good how deep he's going. Weather looks fine, but I just don't think he's going to kill me with like a 40-point performance here. I think that the odds of that are really, really small. So I just don't feel the need to pay almost $13K. He's probably going to have an abbreviated outing, I would guess. So yeah. I doubt we see him pushed here.
Yeah, I would agree. He's not a complete fade because obviously he can go crazy in a short outing. I weirdly like him more today than I would have yesterday, just because he'll have way less ownership. You don't have to be like, there's a difference between him coming in at 50% and you wanting to be under that, and him coming in at 25 and you being at 15. Like,
well, we've got him under 20 because ownership just came out.
Hot damn. Well, then if he's under 20, then I like him until we hear something else.
I think I still prefer Corbin over him, but it's at least manageable at under 20%, I think.
Yeah, at under 20%, he shouldn't just be like a I'm fading Cole stance. That would be, I think, too aggressive. Hey, I said Zach Davies to you before the show started. Did you see his ownership?
Yeah. Oh boy, gonna be a fun one.
So that's that, and then FanDuel. There we go. So yeah, if Cole is 18, I like it. But really what we're talking about is splitting 44% of ownership between Cole and Corbin. I would actually rather have Cole than Corbin if Corbin's more owned than Cole.
Cole than Corbin. I still prefer the savings you get with Corbin. I don't think they're very far apart at all. So
yeah, I mean it's close. Keeping an eye on the ownership there will be, I think, relevant, and keeping an eye on whether or not we get any word on like if Cole will go deep into that game. It's an interesting spot where you can pay up to get a little different and get a stack that you might like that's lower priced.
Sure.
I don't know. Best I can do. Hitting here, we're clearly not taking any Orioles, but Astros look really good. They'd be a team that I'll be probably close to double the field on. They don't seem to be getting enough love, particularly on FanDuel. Nobody more expensive than $4,500 for Bregman. No one owned more than 6% on FanDuel. I love the Astros on that side, and then I would happily have them on DK as well. I'm guessing you're all over the Astros.
Yeah, they're a perfectly fine stack here. Not super expensive on DK either. Just Bregman at 5K. Like Altuve's under 5K. You've got Tyler White, Correa, both at 4,100. It's just pretty easy to get to. Gurriel is priced at 5,200, but I think I'd rather just play Tyler White for $1,100 cheaper.
Oh God, yeah. I'd rather have Tyler White if they were the same price.
Yeah, I mean it's really close, so just take the cheaper guy, I think. But yeah, it's just you got Marwin dual position eligibility, batting cleanup as well. So Hess is not the worst pitcher in the world, but I'd rather play the Astros on a 13-game slate than at like 10% ownership than what we were going to see yesterday, which is like 30 plus on a 6-gamer.
Completely agree. This is if you can get the Astros for what is essentially under 10% ownership as a max on any guy, you have to be there.
Yeah.
You can't give David Hess much more respect than that.
Yep.
And weather seems fine, so no issues for it today. And no need to dumpster dive on Hess today, now that it's a bigger slate.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessary.
The NL East winning Atlanta Braves taking on the Phillies, shaming them for not winning the division. Braves 4.5 run implied total, Phillies 4.2. It's a 53% chance to win for the Braves. Mike Foltynewicz, my boy Folty, going for Atlanta. Jared Eichhoff going for Philadelphia. I'm going to be honest, I don't know a lot about Eichhoff, but his FIP, strikeouts per 9 and walks per 9 from Steamer, do not get me excited. Folty, chalk. Heavy chalk. Second most owned player on the slate for DK, 9,000. What do you want to do with Folty at 27% ownership?
At 27%, I mean, he's still in play for me. He's not like a guy I'm just trying to go underweight because of his ownership. I think he is underpriced here. So it's interesting to see that he's one of the higher priced pitchers in the slate. I wonder, so will Philly roll out a bad lineup? Are they out of the playoff race?
Yeah, that they're done.
Okay.
Everything in the NL is done. I mean, like shuffling deck chairs, I think is available, but
Cubs and Brewers are fighting for the division, I think, still.
Right, that's what I mean. Like everybody that can make the playoffs has made the playoffs. There's nobody like fighting to get in. It's just about sort of like seeding, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Everybody's at 100%.
Yeah, Yeah, I have no problem with Fulte at all. I think he's pretty good chalk. There's not a ton of one guy in this range that I will be very overweight on, and that's Glass now. So I may split the ownership right down the middle with Glass now and Fulte. I think they're both awesome plays. So nothing bad to say about him. It's just ownership that you stand on him. I don't really like hitters against him either. So yeah, there's like one. I mean, maybe you can make a case for Carlos Santana just because he's cheap and lefty power, but not crazy about that at all. And Eichhoff, I don't have him as being very good at all. He's just a guy I remember stacking against a bunch, and then you mentioned like his FIP and all that stuff, and I don't know, the Phillies have obviously given up. So Freddie Freeman, Tyler Flowers, Markakis, I like all quite a bit.
Well, it wouldn't be the strategy show in the morning without me taking a stance. I prefer the Phillies bats to the Braves. So,
whoa.
Yeah, I've been shitting on the Braves all season and took themselves straight to an NL East title. And I'm closing that out that same way. Phillies, number 2 stack for me on FanDuel. I think they're the best pay down option. Second best pay down option, actually. So Hernandez, Santana, Herrera, I'm fine. I think this is a really nice spot for Dylan Cousins on FanDuel where he is minimum salary. If he's minimum salary, that's the time you want a guy that is just only going to be able to hit a home run, because if he hits that home run, you're in great shape. So I actually like using the Phillies quite a bit here on FanDuel. A little bit less so on DK, but I'm still over the field. I would rather be against that 27% Fulte ownership than with it.
Okay. Yeah, so you're on the other side. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not there, but if I start making crunches and I need a cheap stack, I wouldn't even look at the Phillies. I'd rather go and target against Glass now.
Sure.
If I'm doing that. So
yeah, Phillies are 9th for me on DK. So I don't want to get too crazy and make it seem like it's anything more than just a secondary stack. But FanDuel for real, with Cousins being only 2,000 and getting like Herrera at 2,500. Even Hoskins is the most expensive guy at 3,600. They're just really easy to get to. So if you wanted to go to Cole on FanDuel with the Phillies and then the Rockies, I think that's it'll be a unique lineup, and you can still have a lot of chalk in it.
Okay.
I'll always take the minimum salary only slugger. Cousins projects to strike out 39% of the time by steamer. That's the highest I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Let me see if it's the highest in the steamer projections. It's probably pretty close. Can I sort this by strikeout rate, or do I have it somewhere else? Let me just enter it here. This might. I'm not even going to risk it. If I add another column to this sheet, it might die. Anything else here? I guess I didn't mention any of the Braves. I do like the Braves a little bit. I'm just with the field. I don't have a big stance either way. Clearly, Inciarte, Freddie Freeman, Markakis, Camargo, all those lefties look good. Camargo better against righties than lefties, but still.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I'm probably going to be higher on the Braves than you are.
There you go. Shout out Ronald Acuna, future rookie of the year. Blue Jays and Rays. Blue Jays 3.3 run implied total. Rays 4.2. It's a 60% chance to win for the Rays. And I'm going to be honest, I love when the Rays have an actual starter on the hill so we don't have to play is it Yanni, is it Yarborough dance that we play so often. And I'm also very happy that I don't have to say was Diego Castillo. Ugh.
Yeah.
Thomas Pan 1 going for Toronto. Tyler Glasnow going for the Rays. Glasnow, 11% expected ownership on DK, 9% on FanDuel. He's a guy that I normally have to manually bump up. He doesn't come out naturally well anytime I have any projections, but he's a guy with major stuff. So works really well as a GPP play. I can't imagine being much over the field, though. I think you're going to tell me something different. You're going to have a lot of Tyler Glasnow.
Yeah, I'm going to be over the field on Glasnow. Just someone I always want to play when there's another popular option around him. or when he looks like he's in not the greatest matchup. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with this matchup. He's striking out 26% of lefties, over 31% of righties. He's just a really, really awesome pitcher when he's got it working. And when he doesn't, he's really awful, and he's walking guys, and guys are just stealing all over him, and he just gets flustered. So 8,700, I think, is a fine price. Coming off 2 quality starts, he's back at home. I prefer him in that big park. Gets away with more power and more hard hit balls and stuff. So yeah, I just don't see anything wrong with him. I think he should be closer to Fulte than 16% apart.
Do we know if he's going the full freight here? He is only projected for like 3.5 innings in Steamer's Fangraphs projections. And they don't normally under project guys in the morning.
He threw 90, 86, and 98 his last 3 starts. And he started 6 days ago.
What I'm saying is that I'm wondering if they're just going full on bullpen the whole way. Like, as the Rays moving forward, where he might just go 4 innings and call it a day, and they're not really running anybody long. I don't know.
Well, he's gone 6, 6, and 7 his last 3.
Yeah, but now this is the last one.
I mean,
I'm just hypothetical. I'm curious as to why they would have only had him in for, like, they only have him projected for 3 innings, and I have never seen them be early on something like this.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know. I didn't know if there was any news or anything out there that had talked about it. I would like him quite a bit more if I had him projected for more innings.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
For sure.
Let me see where he lands when I bump that up. Yeah. As long as we don't hear anything and we expect him to say, or if we expect him to throw his normal allotment, then I would say I like Glasnow more than Fulte for sure, especially with the ownership difference.
Glasnow more than Fulte, yeah. I like him more than Fulte. I mean, you always like the lower priced guy when it's close, or the lower owned guy and lower priced. But yeah, I just think Glasnow has nuclear upside here. And the 3.3 total, I think, will get some people on Glasnow, 3.3 against him.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to be as highly owned as he should be.
I would completely agree.
Josh looks handsome without the hat. Look at you.
Damn Skippy. Thanks, Dana. Any bats here? Because this is not that kind of game for me.
I mean, CJ Cron and Pham's just too expensive. So I don't think I'm going to get to the Rays stack. It's just going to be Cron probably.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really like either side from an offense perspective.
Yeah.
Like, you could talk me into Malik Smith, but he's 10% owned on DK, so what's the point, really?
Yeah, it seems weird. Lefty. He's not that great of a hitter. I don't know how good of a stolen base matchup this is.
Josh is blushing. Probably
it is a great stolen base matchup for Toronto. So yeah, I don't
McKinney.
If anybody on their team stealing, I don't know off the top of my head.
I can only assume that Rowdy Tellez doesn't.
Yeah.
Somebody just pushes him and he rolls in between first and second.
I mean, just no one steals. What's going on here?
No, I don't know enough about Richard Urena, to be honest with you.
I mean, it looks like a great matchup for Glasnow.
Sure, he'll get lit up.
Yeah, probably. Oh, he did get lit up against Toronto. That was in Toronto.
That was the bad one where he was gone in the first.
That was a fun one.
No, it wasn't. I think I had him. Yeah, we both had him. So did Adam. We touted him for 20 minutes on the damn process show. He didn't even make it out. I don't think he made it out of the first. If he did, he didn't make it out of the second.
I don't think he made it out of the first.
Thanks, Tyler.
Absolute disaster.
Oh my. It's going to be I'm so excited to talk NBA. Marlins and Mets. Marlins 3.6 run implied total. Mets 3.9. It is a 54% chance to win for the Mets. Jose Urena going for Miami. Corey Oswalt going for New York. Oswalt is a guy that I end up with way more than I should. 16% expected ownership on DraftKings, and I have more than that. Are you going to get your Corey Oswalt, Phil? Is it Oswalt? Like, should I be saying it like it's Roy's last name?
I mean, I don't know how else you would say it.
Oswalt.
Whatever his name is, Corey.
Okay.
I think he's, at the very least, a fine pivot to what we're seeing as Zach Davies chalk. Like, that should never be a thing. And Oswalt went 74 pitches his last start, 5 innings. So, you don't need 100 pitches out of him for this price. It's a good park. It's cool weather. It's the Marlins, 6 righties in a row, 2 through 7. So pick your spot in there as well. It just seems like a spot where you can get you 15 plus DK points. I'll gladly take that for 5,600 and bet against horrible Zach Davies.
Yeah, for sure.
Horrible Zach Davies chalk. I get playing Zach Davies, but
he went off in his last start, didn't he?
Did he? Maybe he's not horrible then anymore. I didn't look into him. I just figured he was going to be chalky. No, he had 4 innings, 3 strikeouts.
Was it the start before that?
Let's see his game logs here.
I feel like he had a start fairly recently that went like really ridiculously well.
Against the Cubs. So he's had 2 20-point games this year, and both were against the Cubs.
Clearly.
Milwaukee. Like if he has any of these starts that he's had all season, besides maybe that 23, I'm fine fading him at that ownership, just for the sake of getting a different lineup.
Yeah.
Direction.
No, I get it.
Like 7, 2, 13, 9, 0, 2, 10, 8, 7. It's just, if he does any of that, I will be more than happy with the fade.
Yeah. Any Jose Urena? I assume no. He's someone that I usually don't just cross off, but I do like him better at home. And, there's Conforto and Bruce in here. Nimmo leading off does worry me. Dominic Smith doesn't do much, but he does have power, at least he's supposed to. So it's just not a price point I'm in love with for Urena. So I probably won't get too much of him at all. Yeah, I don't have any interest in the offense in this game. Morning to Team McBee.
Last Friday of baseball season. Yeah, last Friday show, if you missed it. Last Friday show for us. Till March.
You can cry. If I could play like sad music in the background without getting ripped off of YouTube, I would do it. Can't do it though. Ah, boy. Yankees and Red Sox. Yankees 4.8 run implied total. Red Sox 4.1. It's a 56% chance to win for the Yanks. J.A. Happ going for New York. Brian Johnson going for Boston. I don't have either pitcher here. Are you looking to Happ or to Brian Johnson?
No, not really. Johnson is just too expensive for the type of pitcher he is. And this is assuming they're both rolling out their A lineups.
You don't like to pay up for your Johnson?
I don't know. So lefty in Fenway against Stanton, Judge, Voit, Andújar, Torres, even Romine and Echeverria can hit lefties okay too. So no, Johnson, not for me. And I do like some bats against J. Happ as well. The righties with power. So Pierce, especially, is just way too cheap, under 4K. Kinsler, 3,800 as well on DK.
How is Brandon Phillips still in the damn league?
I don't know. He's still kicking. Look at him. He just gets signed by the Red Sox. Now he's going to win a World Series.
How many years did he play with Griffey?
Phillips?
2006. Yeah, he probably was. God, he came up in the Indians in 2002. I was a junior in high school.
Well, like Mauer's been around that long, hasn't he? 2002.
Yeah, but anything that happens in Minnesota doesn't count.
They just love him for whatever reason. He's fine. But...
oh my God, 2002. Who was on that 2002 Indians team? Oh my God. Tomei, Omar Vizquel, Milton Bradley, Ellis Burks, Jesus, Kareem Garcia, Matt Lawton, Coco Crisp. CC Sabathia was 34 then. Oh my God, he played with Charles Nagy. Brandon Phillips is so old, man.
Yeah, he is.
So I know that we're going to be on the same page here, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. Projected aggregate ownership for the Yankees today. 1% on FanDuel, 2% on DraftKings.
Too low.
I have 10 on both. Why in the world would they not be heavily owned?
I think because of their pricing. No, actually, now that I'm looking at it, like they're not that expensive.
What
Stanton
more
should
do you
never
want at a $4,700 Stanton against a lefty?
Yeah, that should never happen.
He's projected for 4% ownership. It should be 15 at the minimum.
Voigt's fair. I mean, Torres is underpriced if he's not going to hit ninth. Andujar is fair. But yeah, Stanton's like 800 underpriced.
It's not even like a bad home run park for righties. Like this is, you can make a case that Stanton's the best play of the day.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter for him. He hits the ball so hard.
Oh yeah. I mean, the ballpark doesn't matter, but
maybe DK is making the case that he's worse because he just hits so many hard line drives that they're not going to get over the green monster because he just hits them so hard. They don't have time to get up.
He might hit it straight through the fucking monster. Just land on top of the dude that keeps the score that lives inside the monster.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to smash the Yankees, particularly the righties. And if like Neil Walker has no ownership, I don't think that he's interesting as a second base option as part of this stack. And clearly the righties on Boston are more than applicable. I don't need to talk anybody into Mookie Betts. Who wins the AL MVP, Betts or Trout?
Betts is going to win it.
Okay.
Right? Wouldn't you agree or no?
I don't pay too much attention to it, but I read Keith Law's article yesterday about it.
Yeah, should be Betts.
Does Yelich win the NL MVP?
I hope so.
Crazy.
Miami. LOL Marlins.
Yeah. Jeez, for real.
He's on a good contract too.
I couldn't tell you how much he makes. He can make $8 million a year or 35, and I wouldn't know.
I think it's like 8 or 7. I think you hit it right on the. Let's see.
So you were probably never like a Griffey guy, huh?
Never was around. Yeah, I mean, the first time I watched baseball was like the middle of the Cubs 03 season, the Bartman year.
Okay, so you were long past like crazy cool Griffey, like 93 Griffey.
Like backwards hat Griffey. I wasn't.
Yeah. Dude, he was the fucking coolest thing that ever happened to baseball.
Oh, I've heard.
Like, for when we were allowed to like pick our All-Star game jersey numbers our All-Star jersey numbers for baseball, it would be like 8 different dudes wanted Griffey's number. It was everybody wore their hat backwards when we were playing. Oh my God, he was so cool, man. So cool.
Yelich, 7 years, under 50 million. So just over 7 million a year.
Hey, if you want to take a trip down a memory lane that you never drove on, I don't know if you've ever played Griffey's Super Nintendo baseball games.
I don't know if I have.
Dude, they're so good. So good. One of the best baseball games I've ever played. Everybody has fake names except for Griffey. But like just knowing who everybody was, it was like, oh, I got fake Jay Buhner. It's like really animated, weird. It's a real fun game to play. Chad will probably be like, yeah, those games were sick. Used to play it so much.
All 49 of you.
Yeah, if there was still another week left in the baseball season and we just had this conversation, I would live stream playing some of the Griffey games.
Twitch stream it.
Yeah.
Those games were great.
Anything else for Yankees Red Sox rather?
No, I think we just agree. Yankees bats are under-owned right now.
Who else would have been on the Mariners? And like Joey Cora, maybe? The Martinezes were prominent in that game. All right, Nats and Rockies. We're heading to Coors. Nats 4.6 run implied total. Rockies 5.9. Crazy high total, highest of the slate. 63% chance to win for the Rockies. Joe Ross going for Washington. Kyle Freeland going for Colorado. I didn't realize how good of a season Kyle Freeland had. Did you?
Yeah. Real life. I mean, he's been awesome. I mean, he's been good for DFS at times too. But
yeah, I'm talking more of like from a real season perspective. Not that people should be using ERA as a barometer for anything, but a guy throwing 196 innings for the Rockies, so he's going to crest 200 today, barring a blow up. 2.84 ERA. Be the second lowest in the history of the Rockies.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, you can't 0.78 home runs per 9 playing half your games in Coors. Congrats to you, Kyle Freeland. I had no idea you were having that kind of season this year.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really awesome at creating ground balls too.
With that said, probably not going to have any Kyle Freeland today.
Well, let's see. I can't find this game. Where are we at?
Nats and Rockies?
Oh, there we go. Did we miss a game? Did we miss? Oh, no, we didn't. That's also an 8-10 Eastern game. All right. So
you good, Jake?
Yeah, I'm good.
Take a sip of coffee.
What?
Take a sip of coffee. We got this. We got this.
It's iced coffee today. I went to old Starbucks. Ross, I have no interest in. Freeland, he's 9,300 in Coors. I get that he's been good. I like the guy. I like playing him in Coors when he's cheap, but I just can't against the Nats. Like Robes leading off, Trey Turner, Rendon. These guys all really worry me for Freeland. Just like hard contact. Like he still gives up some hard contact against righties in between the ground balls. So I don't love the Nats bats. You see this modest total in Coors 4.5. But I can't get to playing Freeland for 9,300 when you can play full tee or glass now for cheaper.
I'm with you there. Hitting in this game is going to clearly be chalk. Rockies chalk stack on DK. Can't get away from it. And, you should at least have some exposure to Colorado. It's a hard game to avoid. What do you think about the Nats being essentially unowned?
I don't think they should be unowned, but like their prices are super expensive against a good pitcher. I know it is Coors, but yeah, I'm kind of torn with what to do. Where are you leading there? Because
I didn't get to them all that much.
Yeah, there's no way I'll get to them when I put them in my stuff, but the first 6 are really expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm not in love with any of their matchups against Freeland, so it's probably going to be underweight if they start to get their ownership up, which they're in Coors, they'll have ownership, but
you know what this means, right?
What?
It's like the first time this year we're like, yeah, not really digging the Nats today, and they're going for 15 in Coors.
Was it at 2% ownership?
Yeah.
What a way to close out the season.
I absolutely know for sure that when I open my phone at 10 o'clock tonight and go to MLB.com or the MLB app, the Nats are going to have more than 10 runs.
Oh, yeah. They'll probably, and it probably won't even be off Freeland.
No.
So we'll be like right about the Freeland. They'll just demolish this bullpen. Like
Turner, Harper, Rendon, Soto, double dongs, all 4 of them.
I mean, should I have 5 Nat stacks out of my 150?
Probably.
I think that's fine. But man, so expensive.
Yeah.
Besides Robles, but like Freeland is a stud against lefties too, and Harper and Soto are 2 of my favorite guys to play. But I don't love playing them. So if Freeland gets scratched, yeah, I'll be all over the Nats. Or if we knew Freeland was going to be bad or hungover or something, but we do not know that.
Why is he going to be hungover?
I was thinking the Rockies had already clinched.
Just drinking too much Coors yesterday.
Where do they stand in the playoff picture? I'm getting all these teams confused. They're not in, right?
I think that they are in, but not clinched to anything specifically. I have it here. So they are a 62% chance to win the division, 34% chance to make a wild card. They have a 96% chance to make the playoffs. The Cardinals still have like a brief glimmer of hope to make the wild card, but otherwise the Rockies and the Dodgers are fighting it out for wild card spot in the division.
They're leading the division.
They
I
are.
thought there were a couple of Dodgers.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Strength of
They got a lot
schedule
to play
for the Rockies, 542. Strength of schedule for the Dodgers, 459.
What a disappointment the Dodgers season has been. I mean, the second, I mean, they started off so bad, but.
And you know what's funny?
What?
Are they the favorite in the NL? I mean, them are the Cubs, right?
If they get into this one-game playoff, then anything can happen.
14% chance to win the World Series per FanGraphs. That is the highest percentage in the NL.
It's pretty good.
They are third overall behind the Astros and the Red Sox. And I think that sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And knowing baseball, we're going to be staring at a Yankees Brewers World Series.
I wouldn't hate that.
I wouldn't see that. I'm not watching World Series games when there's a 3-game NBA slate. Gotta get my Grizzlies fix. Tigers and the Brewers. Tigers 3.4 run implied total. Brewers 5.1. Oh, I'm really happy about this. 69% chance to win for the Brewers.
Oh, very nice.
You're closing that out perfectly. Jordan Zimmerman going for Detroit. Zach Davies going for Milwaukee. Zach Davies, everybody's favorite today. Brace yourselves, people. 40% expected ownership for Zach Davies. We are closing out this 2018 MLB season with a bang. Jake, how much over the field do you want to be for Zach Davies at 40%?
I mean, if he's going to be anywhere near 40%, I think this is a very bad play in tournaments. In cash, I mean, I don't play cash. I don't even think I would go here in cash. But he is cheap and a huge favorite, so I get it. But you have to remember the difference in the bullpens here is going to weigh the Vegas lines quite a bit. Detroit obviously a terrible bullpen. The Brewers arguably the best. So just remember that when you see minus 233, it's not just because Davies is a stud, because he's not.
No, it's only because Davies is a stud.
Very low upside arm is how I would describe Davies. He's not going to light it up. And the Tigers actually do have some lefties in this lineup. 4 out of the first 5, if they roll out: Candelario, Stewart, Goodrum, Adduci. And I actually like Stewart, Candelario, Castellanos, Goodrum as a stack, or at least 2 of those guys. And I think those guys can all get to Davies here. I don't think Davies is good again. Probably shouldn't full stack against this Brewers bullpen, especially when they have something to play for. They're going to bring in their top arms.
Yeah.
If it's even a remotely close game. So I think it's foolish to 5-man stack, but if you get the guy or a couple guys that homer off Davies and he has a poor start, you're in a really good spot if he's chalk.
You love the Brewers bats?
Yeah, I will have Brewers bats.
2.5 times the field on DK, 3 times the field on FanDuel. Love the Brew Crew.
Hard not to. I mean, just completely different situation. This is an awesome full stack if you can get to it. Granderson, cheap enough leading off for 4,100. Yelich, I absolutely love. You don't really need to talk about him too much.
No.
Moustakas and Shaw are both fairly priced as well. So all the lefties I think are fairly priced. And then Kane and Aguilar are both under 5K as well. So it's always this top 6 with Milwaukee. 5 of the top 6.
Kratz too is fine.
Yeah, he's all right.
If you're 5-manning the Brewers or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, smash the Brewers. I would come in probably at 20% Davies if he's at 40. Half feels about right.
I would come in at like 5. This is it's the end of the season. We're experimenting. This is a play I think I would make a full fade. I don't think that's ridiculous.
I don't think that Zach Davies has the ability to hurt you here. So I'm with you.
It just has to go so well for him. He's got to have like a ceiling start, a 20 plus points before he starts hurting you, I think.
Yep.
And, Oswalt, while, you could say Davies is a better pitcher or whatever, Oswalt is in a similar situation and in a better park against a worse team. So there's that.
Moving on. White Sox and the Jakes. I hope I don't forget this. White Sox 4.3 run implied total. Jakes 4.8. 56% chance to win for the Minnesota Jakes. Reynaldo Lopez going for Chicago. Jose Barrios going for Minnesota. I know you wanted to talk about him desperately yesterday, so here's your chance. Teed up for you. Barrios.
Is it Chase DeJong or Barrios?
I have Barrios.
I think the total would be lower for the White Sox if it was Barrios. But I mean,
shit! It's not Barrios, and it's also not Reynaldo Lopez.
Are they just shutting down? No, it's Giolito and DeJong.
Yep, right? Motherfuckers.
They're playing Barrios in the first game. Barrios, Reynaldo. It's a doubleheader, so
gotcha.
We don't get to play Jose Barrios for 8,600.
Okay, so I'm not like just off base. It's just not the 8-10 start.
Correct.
Cool. Luke Giolito going for the White Sox. Chase DeJong going for the Twins. Everything I just said, ignore it. What are your thoughts on the two guys that I wasn't talking about?
I don't really see the need for DeJong. I don't think he's really any good at all. And then, it's good weather here. So you've got two guys that are super cheap. We've at least seen Giolito do it before. Great weather. I know he's had a successful start against the Twins earlier in the year. And they're rolling out guys like Forsythe. Austin doesn't scare you righty. Astudillo is a fine hitter, just doesn't strike out, and that's fine. But you got like Field righty. Kepler can't hit righties this year. Pettit, this Twins lineup is pretty bad once you get past like Polanco 1-2.
So you're not smashing the Twins like I am?
No, I think this total is going to come down, and it could be a bad lineup because of the doubleheader too, or like an uneven lineup. So they're going to be mega cheap, but I don't really see the need to get to them.
Oh, that's reasonable. Yeah, I mean, there's no telling what this lineup's going to look like, but I do like them because I don't trust Giolito. White Sox are my number one stack on FanDuel, though.
That I can understand. I mean,
they're so cheap.
Like 45
Polka's 2,700. He's the most expensive hitter in the entire lineup.
Okay, that makes sense.
No, that's not true. Moncada's 3K in the 8 hole. Yeah, $2,700 Polka, $2,600 Garcia, $2,500 Yolmer Sanchez leading off. They're just really easy to fit in.
It's so cold, though. I mean, it's going to be really tough to hit in this weather. So that's why I think I'd rather just take a shot on Giolito at 6K, another pivot to Davies. Giolito's coming off at least a start where he got strikeouts and went 111 pitches.
I like Giolito a lot here.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be the majority of my exposure in this game. Just any way I can not play chalk Zach Davies.
Is real? Anthony Davis doesn't want to be in New Orleans anymore? I mean, not that that's shocking. Yeah, I like Giolito. This is a great spot. 5,800 for Giolito. No one really around his price point that's any good. So, I'd rather pay $500 more to get unowned Giolito than pay Zach Davies.
Yeah,
there's plenty of cheap bats out there today. Save the 500 and go to someone with some upside.
Yep.
1, 2, 4 games to go, and then we are done. Indians and Royals. 5 games to go because I can't count worth shit. 4.6 run implied total for the Indians, 3.6 for the Royals. 61% chance to win. for Cleveland. Mike Clevenger going for Cleveland. Ian Kennedy going for Kansas City. Clevenger, 22% expected ownership on DK. I've got 31. Clevenger is someone that I would prefer more than, right now, more than Pat Corbin, which I know you're going to disagree with, but more than everybody up there. Clevenger hit my ownership cap. So tell me why I'm crazy.
I don't think you're crazy. I will have a good amount of Clevenger here just because I don't want to go to Cole. And when I'm getting up here, I probably won't have all my exposure in this area to Corbin. Clevenger has a solid matchup against the Royals. I'm trying to kind of filibuster to see how he is at holding runners because that really matters against the Royals. Ooh, 15 stolen bases allowed this year. Let's see what the Royals have done against him. He's made a handful of starts. The Royals have 0-0 their last two. May 12th, 0 again. That's interesting. I don't know why they wouldn't be able to. And then they have one caught stealing. This is his fifth start against Kansas City. I don't know if something's changed. I know Mondesi has moved up in the lineup since then, and he's just been taking every base he possibly can. 2 stolen bases in each of his last 2 games. So I still like Merrifield and Mondesi, Gordon to some extent. So those are 3 guys I will play on the other side. But like from a hitting standpoint, this is a great matchup for Clevenger. The price isn't perfect.
Right.
I'd probably come in a little bit under that if I had to guess. It'd probably be more in the 12 to 18% Clevenger.
Okay.
I mean, nothing bad to say about the actual matchup. It's 54 degrees. So for hitting, I love it. It's just the stolen bases could be an issue.
Sure. You going to the Indians bats one last time?
Oh, yeah.
Have to, right? If this lineup looks like this, love the top of the order here.
Yeah, I love Donaldson too here. 4,300. People love playing him against lefties, but he can obviously hit righties really well. And Kennedy does give up dongs to both sides. He does not discriminate. And yeah, I wish it was a little better weather, but I think that's going to get the ownership off of the Indians bats, which I like.
Agreed. Only 3% aggregate on both sites. I will certainly have more than that. God, I hope that Anthony Davis goes to LA. That'd be the shit.
The Lakers?
Yeah.
Ooh. That would be something.
Big Hova, by the way. I don't want to make it look like I missed that. Shout out to Raleigh, man.
Shout out to what?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
A's and Angels. A's 4.8 run implied total, Angels 4.0. It is a 58% chance to win for the A's. Mike Fiers going for Oakland. Jaime Barria going for the Angels. I don't have any pitching here. I guess you can make a case for Mike Fiers, but I'm not super interested in either side. What about you?
I mean, Fiers is, yeah, I prefer him at home, so probably going to stay away from him here. Jose Miguel Fernandez's price went down to 2,800. Calhoun is 3,300, and then Ohtani is 4,600. So you got flyball Mike Fiers against a really decent top 5 for the Angels. So I don't even mind them as a full stack. And then Barria does struggle with lefty power. So Olsen and Lowry are 2 guys I'm really looking at. Do you have any interest in playing Barria? Because Barria struggles with righty power. I'm thinking of Pena. Actually, I think I had Pena in yesterday, so I need to go change that.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. That was one of the hitters I took was Lowry against Pena, but it's Barria. Get those 2 confused sometimes. What are you doing in this game for hitting?
I'll have a little bit of both sides, but nothing crazy. They're all secondary at best. Cole Calhoun looks really good. Trout clearly looks pretty good. You can make a really nice case for those first 4 Angels, but it is still 3 outfielders. I don't know. It's not that kind of game, I don't think.
That's true.
Chris, I am also so stoked to talk about the NBA.
Like, this is, looking at the slate, this is kind of one of the better hitting environments on the entire slate.
Two
in
teams that are
LA.
pretty good at hitting as well.
Yeah, I actually, not that I'm going to intentionally game stack, but I will have bats on both sides the more I look at this slate. Like you see the cold weather in KC, cold weather here in Minnesota, cold weather in Coors. Milwaukee could close the roof, but if they don't, it's 53 degrees, 60 in New York, and then Boston's under 60 as well. So just not great weather all around. And this is going to be like 70 and a little bit of wind blowing out possibly. So
are you looking at a certain competitor's weather page right now?
Yep.
You had your opportunity to talk about the weather in that game at a particular degree, reading at 69.5 right now, and you rounded it up to 70 when you said it casually.
I see 68, so maybe we're looking at different ones.
Oh, I have 69.5, and it just switched. Wait, no, what game?
I don't have decimals on mine.
Okay, so you're not on that website then. We're on different websites.
We're on different websites.
Yeah, I was talking about our main competitor.
I don't even know who our main competitor is.
The only competitor.
Oh, sure.
Diamondbacks and Padres. Not going to be a lot of hitting to talk about here, at least on one side. Diamondbacks 3.9 run implied total, Padres 3.2. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. 58% chance to win for the D-backs. Pat Corbin going for Arizona. Eric the Goat Lauer going for San Diego. Lauer projected 5% ownership. I don't want, not 5, not 10, not 20. I got 31% Eric Lauer. Come at me, bro. Come at me. It's Eric Lauer season.
If he, how owned is he?
5%.
Okay, so he's fine play as a pivot to Davies. I know that's a cop out. I think he is not a good pitcher. It is a really good park. D-backs really struggling, and then like I like Pollock a lot. I think Ahmed's a fine play as well, just for salary relief. And then Goldschmidt, obviously, for whatever reason, he just never strikes out on the road against lefties and always does at home. The Diamondbacks are cheap. So looking at their ownerships, I always am looking to stack against Eric Lauer.
20% Souza, no one else above 8.
This is another one where, like, yeah, it's not a great park, but it is nice weather here and 69 degrees. I didn't even try to do that. It is 69 degrees in San Diego.
Nice.
Yep. And then I think Lauer is awful. So, yeah, give me some Diamondbacks here at cheap price points.
Give me all that Lauer. I don't mind having some Diamondbacks, but I don't really love the park or the run total. It's just going to be tricky, especially if like Steven Souza is chalk. Then he's not a guy that I would want as part of the stack. And I'm certainly not going to any Padres.
He's so bad against righties. 31% line drive rate. I mean, he strikes him out at 21%. That's fine, but a 154 whip, 40% hard contact. He's just 345 woba. He's just not any good. And they do have some good bats, even though they have been not great lately.
No, 26% Pat Corbin ownership. I know you mentioned him earlier today, preferring him to Garrett Cole. What do you think about that ownership?
I expected it. It's a little worrisome, the ownership is, but I don't see a pivot that I'm in love with. Like, there's no one like Hyunjin Ryu. No thanks for 11-1. So I just think Corbin has probably the highest upside in the slate, depending on how deep you think Cole is going to go. Corbin should be close to a full go here. Threw 82 pitches last time out, but that was because he just had a bad start against Colorado. It happens. This is a great matchup, I would say. Yes, some righty power, but also a ton of strikeouts. So he's just been incredible all season, missing bats, and I expect him to do the same thing here.
There you go. I don't get to him as much because I'm getting more Clevenger, but when I have two guys that are like separated by $400, similar projected ownership. I'm probably going to take a stand somewhere. I don't have a problem going to Corbin over Clevenger if that's what you prefer. I think they're both in good spots today.
I prefer Corbin over Clevenger.
Well, we're going to disagree and be on opposite sides. Shout out to Grace for the final time.
Grace hasn't been in chat.
Grace is tired of taking the beating.
She's too tired of us always winning.
I know.
She knows our diabolical plan.
Yep. Rangers and Mariners. Rangers 3.7 run implied total. Mariners 4.8. 62% chance to win for the Mariners. Martin Perez going for Texas. Wade LeBlanc going for Seattle. LeBlanc 10% expected ownership, 7,400. I mean, I guess I understand the play against Texas, but I don't have much interest in LeBlanc here, and I know that neither of us are playing Martin Perez.
Bats against Martin Perez, I absolutely love. I expect like Cruz to have ownership, but I don't know if the rest of these guys will.
They don't right now.
Yeah, man. So Cruz probably the best play on the entire slate, I would say. 4,400 against Martin Perez, a guy who can't strike out anyone, gives up a ton of hard hits. Those top five look incredible to me, and I'll even play Zunino and Negron. I don't know who this guy is, but he ended up in a couple of my lineups the other day, and I was rooting for him. This guy's been in the league since.
I don't know who this guy is, but he's in my lines.
He was in a couple of my lineups that were in the late night hammer when Seattle went off kind of early. But jeez, T McBee. You don't have any interest in LeBlanc?
No, I'd rather have Matt LeBlanc. You don't. Okay, I was gonna say you probably don't even know who the fuck that is.
Come on, I know Friends. I've seen that.
Okay.
I've seen every episode actually.
Oh,
my girlfriend loves that show.
It's shockingly bad, and this is coming from someone that watched it like while it was happening. So
like it doesn't hold up.
Not in the slightest.
I kind of get it. I mean, there's parts that are.
There are clips on YouTube where they edit the laugh tracks out and just let Ross talk. And he comes off like the worst guy, like the Harvey Weinstein of like television, just like speaking really poorly about women. But like, it's supposed to be a joke in the show, but it sounds really awkward when no one laughs behind it. It's hilarious.
I think the laugh track shows just don't really hold up that much.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
I think people might be at my house. I don't really see anything in this game. I don't want LeBlanc. I don't want
Mariners.
Not. I mean, like some of the Mariners are fine. You know, Cruz obviously an exceptional play. Really, any of the righties against Perez, but they're not popping up for me all that much. I'm a little surprised. I think it's more of a price thing than anything else. Like Haniger and Cruz are probably the two main guys you're worried about, right?
Haniger, Cruz, Healy, Segura.
Yeah, Segura just doesn't have enough pop to make it matter.
Okay, well, I hope that everyone else shares that sentiment with you because I'm going to jam in all the Mariners bats I can.
Fair enough. This is perfect. The final game of the show, and we are ending on a team that we have been filleting for months. Dodgers and Giants. Dodgers 4.0, Giants 3.0. 62% chance to win for the Dodgers. Hyunjin Ryu going for LA. Matty Bum-Bums going for San Francisco. I would have expected to like Ryu or Bumgarner here, but I don't really get to either, and the public isn't going to them either. So what are you going to do with pitching here? Because this is obviously a great place to be. AT&T Park, an exceptional pitcher's park, 58 degrees. You would think that these guys would be, at least one of them would be more popular. What are you going to do with them?
I just don't think you can play Ryu. Like everything has to go perfect for him to be worth it at 11-1. And you've got Corbin, you've got Clevenger for cheaper on the slate in similar matchups. So maybe not as good of a park, but Like he's got to be legitimately perfect in 6 innings with a bunch of strikeouts because he's not going 100 pitches. He hasn't this entire year. He's barely even getting to 90. So 11-1 just too expensive. And this game really matters for the Dodgers as far as trying to win the division. So if he gets in trouble, Dave Roberts is going to have a pretty quick hook.
Yeah.
I don't like bats against him.
No bats in this game.
I'm not messing around with the Giants bats. What about a Dodgers stack? This isn't even me like doing our bit. Like, just they're so cheap, and I don't think Bumgarner. Like I've been targeting Bumgarner with much worse teams than the Dodgers, so they're going to roll out an A+ lineup. There's no doubt about that.
8 righties right now.
Yeah. Bumgarner has not been missing a ton of bats. 4 of his last 5 starts under double-digit swinging strike rate. Just 9.4% for the season. He doesn't get a bunch of chases. You got a patient Dodgers team, bunch of power, and obviously that wind blowing out, that doesn't really matter. But 60 degrees here. It's not terrible hitting weather. It's not like it is in Minnesota. So they're just way, way too cheap. You're not used to seeing prices like these.
They're not my cup of tea here, just because of the park. So I can't justify going to them. It feels like I'm cheating by saying that I'm not a big Dodgers fan today. No Max Muncy in the lineup. That should give him a shot, though.
Like this slate it sucks that we had to go out on a slate that's this bad because I don't know. If this were July and it was a little warmer weather, or even like 3 weeks ago and the weather was a lot better, it would be way more fun to play. But
Sean V and patting himself on the back as we go out. Vargas Terran, superb combo yesterday. Jake, give me a team to look at. We are at stacks for the final time.
Let's do the Dodgers.
I don't have any.
After you share your screen.
I don't have any Dodgers. I got 0 on my crunch, so pick somebody else.
Give me the Mariners? No Mariners?
I got 1.
1. Oh,
Clevenger Barrios, which is fucking already in the dumpster.
You got to get Barrios out of your player.
Well, yeah, I changed it now, but I'm not re-crunching 150 lines for it.
Okay. Let's do a different team then. Let's do like Milwaukee or someone.
Okay.
Expensive.
Yeah, that works. So there's Milwaukee. These are 4-4s. A lot of Zach Davies coming in these Milwaukee lines. Surprise, surprise. Let's try to find one without him. Noted all-star pitcher Eric Lauer in a lot of them.
So, yeah, you can see. I mean, it's not like Lauer's dirt cheap either.
No. But, like, if you have Clevenger, Davies, or like Kratz, Shaw, Moustakas, Arcia, Unavoidable, Judge, Stanton, Gardner, Clevenger, Lauer. I like that. Yeah, so many Barrios lines. Where's the rest of any more Twins pairings? I figured I would get more of Willie No-K's.
Who's Willie No-K's?
Astudillo.
Oh, Williams?
Yeah. Doesn't strike out ever.
No, he doesn't.
He hasn't struck out in like fucking weeks. Makes Mookie Betts look like Chris Davis.
Where's that Matt Boyd truther? Who's the Matt Boyd truther?
I don't know. I can't remember anything.
Oh, yeah, that's true. There was someone yesterday in chat talking about Matt Boyd. Show yourself.
Show yourself. I don't know if I have my FanDuel crunch still open, but we'll check it out. Then we're going to get out of here. Tune in 11 o'clock. Actually, 2 separate timings of things. Let me get my plug in here now. So Fast Eddie Fear going to be going on today twice. Once at 3:45 to talk a little NBA, and then tonight at 7:05, immediately after Jake and Chris are done in the live stream. Eddie coming on to go for the 20 plus minutes up until NBA lock for the first preseason game of the season.
Nice. Exciting stuff.
Yeah. There's some crunches for you guys from FanDuel. I don't have anything interesting to say about them. 11 a.m. you will get a notification that the process show video has dropped. I recorded this last night as my process going through and filling out everything in Fantasy Cruncher and my spreadsheet for week 4 of the NFL. So that will pop off at 11 a.m. Check that out. But yeah, 2 shows with Fast Eddie Fear today, from A to B, the final deeper dive, the final live before lock. Get it all in, guys. Jake, anything else on this final show for us for the rest of this year?
I believe EMAC and myself have a show tomorrow. Just put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that's going to happen for sure, but we'll have the night shift out. I'll be doing that solo, I think.
Yes.
And then for this riveting Saturday slate.
Final night shift.
Yep. What else? Hitters, pitchers, and stacks are already out. I'm shifting my focus now, so it's exciting. I'll be on Fantasy Cruncher Rewind for the next 6 days, just back testing stuff, and it'll be a good time.
Tony S. closing this out perfectly. Damn, what am I going to do for my morning tug every morning without you guys? Thanks, man. Appreciate that. That helps.
Oh, God.
Best of luck, everybody. Baseball's going bye-bye. Get ready. Hockey soon. NBA really soon. We're out. Goodbye.